Hello and welcome to the first ever preview on the Geordie Mob channel. Never done a preview before. I thought we'd come on and just start doing a few little videos to obviously just aid and help you with the shorts that we've been putting on. Obviously, we've done a lot more work over the last month or so, but we just want to start coming on, doing some previews and having a little bit more content for the channel itself. So, today is all about the Bournemouth Newcastle game down at the Vitality Stadium. First off, though, what we all wanted to mention over the last month is just Christian Atsu. Great news that we've heard from the Ghanaian. Was it the Ghanaian regime or whatever they're called? They kind of confirmed it, where there was a lot of different reports saying that he was all right, he wasn't all right, so we weren't obviously 100% certain. So yeah, Atsu looking to do well. Apparently he's injured his foot and obviously breathing difficulties he's got. Hello, Ant, how are you doing, mate? And he's got some difficulties with his leg and his breathing. So hopefully, by the sounds of it, he's out of there and he's been taken to hospital, obviously for checks and stuff. But great to hear that he's doing well. The terrible thing, obviously, what's happened over there. It's just horrendous. So it is good to hear that he's doing okay. So going forward, obviously Bournemouth at the weekend. We've got a week off, so hopefully we can look to getting that match fitness a lot better. It's just been over the last month or so. We had like the FA Cups, and then obviously we've had the quarters, the semis, and everything like that. And it's really just been hectic for it. And I think you can just tell massively in the performances that we've had. When you look at it, when we're coming out, like West Ham and Southampton, their first 20 minutes, half an hour, we're just running the show, and the way that we're passing and the way that we're playing and the way that we're doing the little triangles and the patterns and everything like that, it's just unreal. And then we kind of seem to flag off a little bit. Arsenal obviously was a very different game because we didn't really have too much going forward in that game. But obviously when we're playing like the lesser sides and stuff, especially the Southampton and everything like that, it's just, we've just come out and just been absolutely unbelievable. So we need a good start again. Obviously West Ham scored 2 in the first 3 minutes. Obviously one was offside, or one was out of play, sorry. And then Wilson came along, got his first goal in 9 or was it 8 or 9? I think that was his first goal in. So hopefully he can start kicking on and start getting a few as well. These are the games we're going to need to win. We've got to win these games if we've got any chance of getting in the top 4. We've had a few draws, and obviously we're still winning. We've still only lost 1 game in the league, which is more than anyone. Nobody can touch us where it comes to losing games and stuff. We've lost 1, and even that was a nightmare because obviously it was right at the last minute. It was just a pain in the neck how we lost that game as well, because we played really, really well against Liverpool. So yeah, and Isaac scored as well. That was his debut one. So yeah, going down to Bournemouth, obviously it's a long trek down there as well. We need some decent time off as well, because like I say, with the amount of games we've had over the last month or 2, it's been like a game every 4 or 5 days, whereas now for the next 6 weeks, I think it's a game every 7 or 8 days, which is going to be really good for you, for obviously fatigue and stuff like that. But going down to Bournemouth, I mean, Bournemouth, when they sacked Parker, they went on a little bit of a run. I think they went on about a 3 or 4 game run, unbeaten. And then obviously they've flagged off a little bit as well. Couple of stats from Bournemouth, the last 6. They've lost 5. They've drew 1. They've only scored 3 goals. They've had 11 goals put past them. And they've got a goal difference of -24. So obviously the way we've been playing and everything, I think we should go down there pretty confident of getting a win, but you just never know. Look at Everton. Um, Everton and Arsenal the other day, it was crackers, man. So hopefully we can get a nice 3 points. Obviously, Man U's a couple of points ahead of us. Man City, you never know what's going to happen with them. If they get any kind of deduction, they're going right down. They'll go down to what, 8th, 9th, something like that. So you never know how long that's going to take and stuff like that. I mean, with them, they've conceded 11 in the last 6. They've only scored 3. Really, we should have a good go going down. All last 6, a lot of draws. We've had 4 draws, 2 wins, so we haven't lost, which is obviously a great thing. We've scored 5, and we've only let in 1, I believe. With that game at West Ham in the Premier League, not including the cups and everything like that. So our last 6 league games, we've taken 10 points out of a possible 18. So again, still great to see the 2, man. It's just unreal. Obviously, Bruno's going to be a massive miss. That, when he got the ball and he had some great feet to set up the first goal against Southampton, and just to Longstaff, Trippier, Longstaff, goal. Them feet is just what we're missing. We're missing that creativity. We're missing just that flair. Gets very angry. Bruno as well, so he's just got that massive intensity. And I've never seen a Toon player have any kind of intensity like that for a long, long time. He's a massive miss. Just everything about him. We need some reinforcements, definitely, and there's some obviously to bulk up that squad as well, because the squad's thin bare. Everybody knows how thin bare our squad is. It's just not great at all. But positive note, obviously Maxi's coming back in. I know Maxi's got a lot of stick for the way that he's been playing over the last couple of games that he has come on. He hasn't done really well, but Anthony Gordon coming in, them 20 minutes that he got, he looked really sharp. That little pass straight through, was it offside, that, or was it a save, something like that? But you can just see the abilities there, and I think with Eddie working with him as well, I think we're working with Lampard. Lampard just looks like a shell of a man he was when he was a player. He was outside the stadium and that a couple of weeks ago, and he just looked like he was popping his pants talking to them fans. So I can't see him getting a massive deal off him in terms of bringing him on as a player, which is a shame because obviously Frank was a great midfielder. But Gordon, I think he really can have an impact as well over the next couple of games. I think he'll probably get a start against Bournemouth as well, and stick him straight in. I think would be the best thing for him. Really, would want to see Maxi back in his day, like some of the games that he's had for us, is some of the points that he's picked up, the way that he's took games by the scruff of the neck. We're not seeing that anymore. He's never tracked back. He's never been one for that. So I don't think many people can kind of complain about him tracking back and such. But he's never really done that anyway. So like, I just think he's obviously getting. Hopefully he's getting into the game plan like Eddie and stuff, where he's going to be able to not tracking back. I'm not bothered because he's never done that anyway. But I'd love to see more from him just when he's got the ball, and he just seems to lose it a lot. Like he's doing too much. When he first started playing West Ham, he was passing the ball about, but then he kind of just went dead, which it's just a shame for him. Like, because he's a good player, Maxi. I just think he needs that kick up the backside, really. And the last thing we want is kind of see him leave if he goes on to somewhere and does great things. But only time will tell. He's got his chance in the next couple of weeks with Bruno being out. Gordon, I think, should start ahead of him, if I'm honest. I just think he's very injury prone, Maxi. Every time he sees them a good run of games, he gets injured, and it just doesn't go on well for him. But yeah, I would definitely think about getting Gordon in. Isaac, obviously, Wilson's led the line really well this year. with the amount of goals and everything that he scored. So it's a tough one, obviously, bringing him in. Obviously, when Isaac's been in, he's got some good goal contributions. He scored in his debut when he made the goal against Southampton, when he came on, when he dropped that shoulder and straight in the box, and then onto Joe Linton for the goal. So it's not too bad, obviously, looking up front. I would probably start him against Bournemouth as well, because I think it's a game that he can really get his confidence, and hopefully get himself a couple of goals as well. I seen a stupid thing, Stan Collymore, the other day, where he was saying that he doesn't think he's going to make it. Stan Collymore made 2 appearances in his first season in the Premier League. This lad's played, 10 times? He scored 3 or something like that. And he's obviously contributing to goals as well. So, first season, it's either going to go on really well, or it's just not going to go at all. So I think probably giving him a start, maybe he's bringing Wilson on, because Wilson's just looking tired for me after the first half an hour. So give Wilson half an hour, maybe he's against Bournemouth. Give him the last half an hour, and then that'll hopefully help it on. Can Wilson and Isaac start together? Obviously, the system that we're playing, we've got 3 in midfield, and then we're 2 wingers. Or would you start them on the wing in place either Maxi or Miggy? Obviously, Miggy works like hell. His goals have obviously dropped off over the last month or so as well, where he's not. I don't think he's had a Premier League goal. When was his last Premier League goal? I can't remember his last Premier League goal. But he's obviously dropped off, but he's a workhorse, is Miggy. He's an absolute workhorse. So keep him in for me, 100%. But Isaac's a funny one, Gordon's a funny one as well, and Maxi. So that left-hand side's up for grabs, really, with Bruno being out the next couple of games as well. Bournemouth, obviously not looking great, don't look great at all. So hopefully we can take advantage of that going forward as well. So interesting stat that will come across. You might have seen it on the shorts that were posted as well. Eddie Howe, which I think this is the first time he's returned to Bournemouth as a manager. Obviously last year we didn't. This year they've came up here, so I think this is the first time he's going to return down there. It's been a sensation ever since he's come in. Like Eddie Howe. I seen this video the other day. Jason Cundy and Jimmy O'Hara were pissing themselves laughing when the first caller they had on saying Eddie Howe, and what a bunch of mugs he's made them look like. Do you know what I mean? So it's just unreal. What can we say about Eddie Howe, man? But some of the stats for Eddie Howe. So he's had 56 games as Newcastle United manager. He's had 28 wins. He's had 16 draws. He's had 12 defeats. He's got a win percentage of 50%. 75 goals scored. We've conceded 51. And then we're in the final. In the final, man. Do you know what I mean? How good that is to be in a final. First time in 24 years. We haven't made a cup for so long. It's ridiculous how long we haven't had a cup for. But going down there, he'll obviously want to win. Obviously, with him being a Newcastle United manager now, it's going to be an emotional day for him, I would have thought, going down there as well. But hopefully we can get 3 points, which I think we should. Really, I don't think Bournemouth are going to have too much for defensively. Obviously, the stadium will be rocking. It's a decent stadium down there, so hopefully we're going to be able to grab 3 points, because the way Man U, obviously resurgence. When you keep a pace, we're not going to win the league, but you never know. So if we can keep the pace with them, Tottenham beat Man City the other day. We've still got a game in hand over them. So if we can win on the weekend, just put some pressure on them as well for them to come up with a win. They'll probably lose this week after playing Man City and beating them 1-0 at the weekend. So I would have thought Tottenham are probably going to have another dip. Conte is not there as well, so obviously that's going to have a massive impact on you when your gaffer's not there. What do you think? Who's going to start? I would say Gordon. What do you reckon? Do you think Gordon will come in and have a good kind of that left hand side. I hope he does. Just seeing some great little glimpses of him when he came in the other night, and when he had a good game. He had a good 20 minutes. So hopefully he's gonna help out. But like I said, with the run Bournemouth are on, I can't see anything else but a win, and it would be nice if we can get a win. We'll have a look at some comments. What we got? Yeah, we haven't lost any at home, aren't we? None at home at all. I don't think Man City will get relegated. If I'm honest, I think it'll be more of a points deduction and embargo and stuff like that. So I think the next couple of years they're kind of going to drop off. I think Liverpool are really, really struggling with what they're doing and just how they're performing, and that they need some fresh legs in there, I think so. But I can't see Man City keep it going now. I think Pep will be away as well. I can't see him staying after this. I really can't. Pope, oh yeah, he'll get number one next year. I think Dubravka will be away. I can't see Dubravka staying now. As an understudy, Carriers will probably stay. He's going to get paid decent. You never know. Pope gets injured, and obviously come competitions as well. Yeah, West Ham was a bit of a mess. It was a bit of a gut axe. I thought we were going to nick it at the end, but it's just one of them things. It's not. It's definitely not easy to win the league. I can't say we win the league. You never know. I've seen Leicester win the league. Do you know what I mean? We've seen Leicester, of all people, win the league in, what was it, 2015 now? Was it 15 or 16? I think it was either 15 or 16. So yeah. Well, hopefully we'll see a good performance on Saturday. What do you reckon? Let me know in the comments if you listen to this on a replay. Drop us a sub as well. And you can also support us on Patreon, which the links are all in there. We've got some flags on our Etsy, so you can jump on our Etsy. We'll put the links in the description as well. You can go in there, you can purchase a flag if you need a flag for the final, or you just want one for your outhouse or wherever you watch the match or whatever. Your sitting room, doesn't matter. But yeah, so that was our preview. Hopefully, we're going to see a nice 3 points. First preview ever on the Geordie Mob. So hopefully you're listening. Hopefully you'll give it a watch. If there's anything you just want to talk about, drop a comment. And we'll see you next time. Get in. Carling Cup finalists. Carling Cup. I'm sure he is there. Get in, son.